if you're watching from those places, then please make a comment. We can show your comments on screen. I'm just waiting for OneStream.live, which is my preferred system for sort of taking this broadcast out to the wider world. I'm just going to go live on Amazon Live. And as I do, I'm going to switch my microphone off and let's have Hello. As it says there, the show is Lights, Camera, Action, and during this show we'll be taking a look at cameras, microphones, headphones, lighting, and green screens. Green screens now. Okay, and quite possibly at the Fitbit. Okay, so that's what you can see in today's broadcast, and thank you for joining me on Amazon Live today, and thank you for joining me on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I do appreciate you taking time to actually watch me, and I'm going to be telling my stories about the equipment that's down in the carousel. Now, during this live broadcast, I'll be talking about the carousel. You can only see the carousel if you're on Amazon. This broadcast is going out on amazon.com/live, and that's where you can find me. That's where you can find this broadcast, and that's where you can find the carousel. Now, in the carousel today are 37 different items which I own, and you can listen to me talk about them, most of them, and you can click the link in the carousel, go off to the amazon.com page, pay the price that's in the carousel if you order today, and find out more information about the product and more reviews other than my review. So the way this works is I'm independent of Amazon. I don't work for Amazon. I'm an independent broadcaster broadcasting on amazon.com.live and talking about the products that I love, which, guess what, all came from amazon.com. So that's the synopsis of the show today, and thank you for joining me. Welcome to Corinda, who's commented. Now, this is important. If you've, during the course of this broadcast, have any questions at all about the products I'm showing or about live broadcasting, then please do ask. I will do my best to answer your questions. I've been broadcasting, as Corinda has, for the last 6 years, and we know quite a bit about live broadcasting. We know about cameras, microphones, earbuds, green screens, you name it, we've got some knowledge of it. And if we don't have the answer, then we undoubtedly know somebody who does. This show is for you, okay? Amazon providing this show so you can get informed discussion about the products in my carousel. Now, I've chosen all of them. 75% of them I own. Yeah, and Corinda gets asked if he works for Amazon as well. We don't. Corinda is also an Amazon insider, able to live broadcast on Amazon whenever he wishes. I broadcast on Amazon Live at 9 a.m. Eastern every day. You can join my broadcasts. And on Monday, I'm live with Nick Wood. Tuesday, I'm live on my own, and we talk about cameras and microphones. Wednesday is mobile video. Today is everything. And tomorrow, Friday, at 10 a.m. Eastern for a change, I'll be talking about everything green screen. the green screen behind me. Now, everything I talk about is down in the carousel. If you click in the carousel, you'll get more information. We say hello to Mark, long time no see, Mark Garcia. And Mark is saying, hi, Stephen. And how's everything? Everything's well. I'm now broadcasting on Amazon Live. The link to join me on Amazon Live is in the text. Mark's actually watching from Facebook. And the thrust of today's broadcast is all on Amazon Live. Okay, so where do we begin? I think we've got to begin with cameras. So I'm going to take myself off full screen. Okay, and I don't want that in there. Let's hide that. Okay, so this is lights, camera, action, webcams, audio gear, microphones, live video, and Fitbits, all available on Amazon. This broadcast is from BeLive. Okay, and the video I can hide, and that leaves nothing on screen. So I want to put myself on screen and my second camera, and I'm going to go side by side. Okay, I'm just going to switch things. I've got different themes. I can change themes, and I'm going to go there. And there you have it. That is my setup for today. On the left-hand side, you can see a Logitech Brio camera. On the right-hand side, you can see the Obspot Tiny camera. I'm going to be talking about both of those. But with the Obspot Tiny, just to prove that this is live, I'm going to go there. And you'll now see two of me, which is possibly one too many. So the second camera is actually set up in my BeLive studio to go to the demonstration area, which is why you can see my iPad. Okay, so two cameras. The other thing of note, and I'm going to do this at the beginning, is this. Okay, press apply first. Okay, and I'm getting notifications, which I'll take care of later. I'm broadcasting on be.live. Unmute to listen to me, because then you can hear my stories. Okay, now I did try just doing verbal only of that, but it's better if it's there in text. This is lights, camera, action, and I am live from England. In fact, I am live from Wiltshire in England. Now, if you want to know where I am, I'm in Devizes. Devizes is a small town. Let's take that overlay off. Devizes is a small town which is 97 miles from London. Okay, so I live 97 miles from London in the Wiltshire countryside, and I am close to, as you will see shortly, I am close to Stonehenge, I'm close to Avebury Stone Circle, and I am close to Salisbury Cathedral, all of which are within half an hour of me. So this is a county full of history and full of archaeology, and both Avebury Stone Circle and Stonehenge were built 4,500 years ago, and we're still discovering new things about them. Let's set off on our voyage of discovery. As I go down, and Corinda again, the camera can be installed in the ceiling, but upside down. I don't know, and I don't know why I would, Corinda. I don't know. Honest answer. If you ask me a question, I don't know the answer. I'm going to say I don't know. One, I don't understand the reason for the question. Two, I don't know. If you go to the Obspot page or the Obspot Facebook group, you'll find out more. Okay, so I'm going to go back, and thank you for watching me live on Amazon Live. And the first thing we're going to look at is the Logitech C920X camera. Now, for a long time, well, let's have a look at it, shall we? I'm going to go side by side for this. Okay, so this is the camera. This is the camera that I started with. And I started, as we said earlier, just a minute, it's attacking the plant. I started live broadcasting. I'll go picture in picture. I start and shrink myself, just a moment, I need to shrink. Okay, this will only take a second. It's painless, but it works better if we do this, because you can now see me. And you can now see my hand. That's my hand. As we say hello to Mark, and Mark saying he's got that camera. Brilliant. Okay, this is the Logitech C920. This is brilliant. Thank you, Mark. Just bring that up again. Mark has got this camera. And then Nick Wood has got this camera as well. This is the camera that most live broadcasters actually start off. I'll put it the right way up, shall I? Start off broadcasting with. This is quite probably the most well-known camera. Logitech, as Mark just said, he loves Logitech. They are a brilliant brand and have a range of cameras. C920 is the one in my hand, C922, 925, 930, all slightly different specs, and Logitech Brio, which is up on my BenQ monitor, and BenQ monitor is down in the carousel. But this is the camera, and basically what you have is the central lens, and you have microphones either side. So this camera is not just a camera, it's a camera with external microphone. Now, when we start broadcasting, with the equipment we have, because we have to know whether we enjoy live broadcasting or not. So don't spend a red cent until you know you enjoy broadcasting. When I say live broadcasting, I include Zoom in that. Zoom is a big part of our lives now. Even I have got a Zoom subscription. When you start off, just use the camera and microphone in your PC or Mac, and then your next step is to take an external camera and microphone, and you'll notice a difference. This is what it's all about. It's about the quality of the picture and the quality of the microphone. And your first step is to go for the Logitech C920. Now, it's solidly built, and I've got to tell you, this camera is 6 years old. I bought this camera when I first started live broadcasting 6 years ago on Blab and on BeLive. And the thing is, it goes like that, and that angle goes over your monitor, and it perches on your monitor, and it looks down at you. Okay, it's field of vision, 90 degrees field of vision. Yeah, you can cut that down to 78 or 65. So you've got 3 fields of vision that you can have. So wide, not so wide, and direct. Okay, so it goes on your monitor. It's plug and play. Now, I can't show you this camera working because it's not plugged in. I've got 2 cameras plugged in. This one isn't, so I just want to talk about it. Down in the carousel, though, well, just before we get there, the normal way to actually use this is to actually put it on top of your monitor, whether it's a PC or laptop or an external monitor. It goes on your monitor, it points at you, and you look directly into the camera. Okay, that's a skill, learned skill, which we'll come back to. But you don't have to have it on your monitor. What you can do, and I'm hoping I can show this, is in the bottom is the ability to actually screw in. I'm looking frantically around. Yes, I've got one. Is you can actually mount the camera on a tripod, a 3-leg tripod, and that the advantage of doing that is that it's not tied to one place. You can actually move the tripod about your desktop until you get the picture you want, and you can vary the picture during the broadcast. So basically you just screw that into there, okay, and then it goes like that, and you can put it anywhere you want. Now, you don't have to be able to adjust anything to do it. It is truly plug and play. So the 2 modes of using it, it's a very strong hinge, is over your computer like that, or your monitor, or with the tripod. So that's 2 ways of actually deploying it. Now, there are 2 models called C920. There's a C920, as I'm showing you at the moment, and there's C920X, which is down in the carousel. The thing about the X is, and this goes way back in the mists of time, that with the X, you actually get 3 months subscription to a software company called XSplit. Now, when this was done, XSplit had one product, XSplit Broadcaster. So down in the carousel, you've got the C920X, $69.95. You get the camera, you get the microphone, but you also get, in addition to that, as I go to share my screen, and I'm going to do this live. Bear with me a moment, taking my life in my hands. I'm going to share screen and go over in a second. Just Won't take a second. I'm going to go over here and share my screen and come back into the studio. So I'm back in the studio now. I'm just going to hide. Well, yeah, I can leave that off. I'm just working out the best way to do this. I'm going to bring this on screen and take myself off solo. I'm going to switch that camera off and I'm going to picture in picture. This is what you actually get included. You get 3 months of XSplit. That's why it's the 920X, 920X split. So if you buy the camera, you get access to the software. Now, I subscribe independently to XSplit, and I'm just about to tell you why. This is all related to the 920X that's down in the carousel. Once you've got the camera, then you can sign up to XSplit and it gives you access to XSplit VCam. Now, XSplit VCam is, it says it's there, it's the best virtual background webcam tool. The thing about it, I'll come back to me for a minute. The thing about it, I've been using XSplit VCam since January 2019. It is, they say it's the best. I agree with them. Yeah, it is the best background removal software that there is. The thing is that you can use the XSplit VCam, you can use it on Zoom, you can use it on Facebook, you can use it anywhere you go live with your C920X camera. You can use the background removal software. Now, the background removal software, I'm just going to take my life in my hands and go here. I'm going to show you that I've got the background removal software show tomorrow, but just for now, let's take a look at what background removal is as I go here and I go here and I go here. Okay, so I'm waiting for that to take effect and I'll disappear for a second. Okay, I am going to disappear. Okay, and I've got a message saying they couldn't remove my background. That's good. Okay, I'm live. Okay, let's talk. It just simply works. I'm demonstrating XSplit VCam background removal tomorrow. Okay, I think the sunlight through the window actually had an effect on it. Okay, so when you buy the Logitech C920X, you get XSplit VCam. You also get XSplit Broadcaster. Now, this, if you're into broadcasting at all, and you think of vMix and you think of OBS, XSplit Broadcaster is in that genre. It's the ability to do scenes and to broadcast live to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and your well, not your website. Basically, XSplit Broadcaster is multiple scenes, your camera, and going live, and it works out the box. And it's easy to understand. There are plenty of videos on YouTube explaining how it works. The next thing that you get, and this is available to everybody, is Connect Webcam, which is the ability to take your mobile phone and use it as a webcam within a broadcast. And then this is my favorite. I'm going to come back to here. Exploitpresenter. We use this every Monday in our Amazon live show, and it is the ability to take Exploitpresenter, come back to me, is the ability to combine images, video, camera, and text into a presentation package, which you can then use as a virtual camera, bring it into Zoom, bring it into the Be Live studios I do on a Monday with Nick. Anywhere that you go live, you can use Exploitpresenter as a virtual camera. The other thing is that it can record. And when I did videos a couple of days ago about RTMP, I used Exploitpresenter. So I use it every week. It is a brilliant piece of software. And it's included. So let's go over to the page again. So Exploitpresenter, combination of video, images, text, and cameras. Again, multiple scenes, and you can then go out and you can broadcast live to Facebook or YouTube, or you can record locally and It just works. And then my new favorite capture tool, I have a license for a well-known capture tool. The idea of a capture tool is to capture an area of your screen, either as a still image or as a video. That's what Capture does. It actually captures your screen. And that means that I can take a screenshot and basically show it on screen. Okay, but the thing is this. Most screens, I'll try again. Most screen capture software loads when you start your computer and it sits in the background and it's waiting for you to do something. Expert Capture doesn't do that. Expert Capture lives in your system tray at the bottom of your screen, and when you want it, you call it, you summon it, and you say, I want a screen capture now, blink, blink again, and you've got your screen capture. The other thing is that your screen capture is sent off to XSplit Cloud, and XSplit Cloud stores anything that you've shot, not quite literally, everything that you've shot with XSplit Capture is stored in the cloud. So that's all by way of saying that everything that's on this page, as I go back over there, is part of, you get a 3-month use of XSplit. Pitching and presentations, online classes, webinars, product demonstrations, interviews and workshops, virtual conferences, video interviews and calls. And they are globally recognized. More than 15 million people use XSplit suite of video tools to work smarter with video. So envisage that. 15 million people actually use the software. And I'm going to stop screen sharing now. Back to me. I'm going to try this background removal tool once more because I never give up. I'm going to try and remove my background again. So with the camera, what I'm saying is, hello. Lighting's not too good today. This is background removal, okay, but not the one I'll be showing you tomorrow. If you get the Logitech C920X, you will get, just wait a minute, just me, you'll get 3 months of XSplit, and that's why it's called the 920X, because of XSplit. Okay, so that's background removal. This is not XSplit, so I'm not going to, that was just by way of an example of doing, of doing a background removal. I'm going to be back in a second, and I'm back. And I want to give a shout out to, I don't have any bells and whistles. Okay, I don't do bells and whistles, but I'd like to give a shout out to Teach6, who just started following me. And I thank you very much for following me. If you are enjoying what I'm talking about, then I'm always grateful when people follow me. And Teach6, thank you very much. You've helped to make my day. It's basically to a broadcaster on Amazon Live. Followers are important. The more followers we have, the more Amazon thinks the better Amazon thinks of us. And as a Brit, to actually attract an audience in the USA on Amazon.com is absolutely brilliant. And that you followed me is brilliant too. So thank you for following. Okay, and let's carry on, shall we? So that's the C920X. And the C920X is the camera that we all start with. And if I go here, if I switch that back on, you can see I'm going to move. I'll move this out of the way. Okay. And now you can see the 920X again. So if you buy the package, you get XSplit, the suite of XSplit programs included with the 920X, the Logitech C920X, which I'm going to close up. I'm going to put safely out of the way. So that's the Logitech C920X. Okay. Now, I'm going to play I'm going to play you a short video by way of actually showing you something. Okay, what I'm going to do next, we're going to look at gimbals, and I'm going to bring this video in and give you an idea of what you can actually do with a gimbal. So I'm going to hide my second camera. I'm going to put that video full screen. Now, this was shot using the Hms gimbal, which is down in the carousel. I'm just going to highlight it. So let me go along and highlight the gimbal. Okay, so this is the Hms 3-axis gimbal. I use when we go out and about at weekends. I go this was summer in 2021. Let's just take a short tour of the gardens, and I'll be back in a moment. Oh, I need to switch my camera off. I need to switch my microphone off.
And I don't see any of them. I'm actually going to show you the gardens, which are immaculate. Lawns, the flowers off to the side, and people enjoying a day out in the sun. When we set off, it was raining, so to be here now, enjoying the garden, and that's Angelica over there on the other side, keeping away from what I'm doing. As a pan round and just walk down the length of the garden, and it's just great to be out and about. I mean, we're 2 weeks away from being totally released. Excuse me, sorry. But these gardens are just totally, thank you, totally amazing. And this is just a short tour of the gardens as we see Angelica again. Hello. Okay, now in here, I'm going to go in here, is a statue. I wish I could actually, because you never know what you're going to find. Is a statue, and there's no inscription. Well, there is an inscription on it, but it's rather faded. So there you have, in the quartz garden, a little area which has been set aside. Of course, this was once, incredibly, this area and that house over there were part of an industrial estate, and there was a factory here, and the factory was closed and went into disrepair, and the property was then turned into a house with a magnificent garden. And we can see the bamboo here, and if I go through here, again, this is a mystery tour. I know where I'm going, but you don't. So hopefully through the bamboo and along the path, the steps, and then I'm going to turn around, give people their freedom. Try not to photograph people. We're actually looking at things, but this is just the most amazing garden. Okay, just a note, little advertisement. Marco Nova and I will be live on Amazon Live on
And I am back. Okay, so that was, and the lighting changed. I'm getting there. That's better. Okay, sun's gone in. That was using the home gimbal, which is down the carousel at the moment. It's today's price is $84.14. If you click the link in the carousel, you'll be taken off to the product page on Amazon.com. You'll pay the price that you can see in the carousel. The prices in the carousel are only active whilst I'm broadcasting. Okay, so if you see something and it's a good price, then buy it or take a look at it. Now, I'm giving you my review of the products. When you click the link in the carousel, you'll see all the Amazon.com reviews, and you may see this video live on the page as well as I'm talking about the home gimbal. I suppose that I had better show it to you and I'm trying to find my second camera, which I'm going to bring up on screen. So this is my second camera. Okay, and I'm going to go, where am I? Switch my camera on. Okay, I'm picture in picture. We're on the desktop. Okay, and I'm going to show you the home gimbal. I've shown you the video, basically what it can do, and this is the unit itself. This is its carrying case, and it's very sturdy, and it protects the gimbal whilst you're not using it, and it just slips into your backpack. Okay, so it's well protected. In the case, you get a tripod stand, and I'm going to try and show you. You can use the gimbal as static. Okay, you can screw it on and then use this as a static camera. And if you use it as a static camera, you can set it on the gimbal itself to actually follow you. So you could put the gimbal on the stand down, and it will follow you as you walk around and describe something. Okay, so that's the first bit. Right, this is the smallest bit as well. So I'm going to put that back together again. And this is the gimbal, and I'm going to take it out of its box and put the box over here. And this is the gimbal. Now, if I go full screen, you'll see it a bit better. Okay, so this is the gimbal. Basically, it's got the clamp there. That's where your phone goes. And if I can find my phone, I can show you. I'll put my phone over here. Okay, so basically, in terms of operation, you take the case, your phone out of the case, you put your phone into the clamp, and it's safer. Now, the whole point of a gimbal is that it's steady. If you hold a camera, there are two problems with that. One, when you're holding the camera and you're shooting video, you're concentrating on not dropping the camera. And that's a problem, because if your concentration is a tight grip on the camera, then you're not going to get your best shots. Simple as that. You need a gimbal. And the second thing is, and this is important, it's the gimbal is actually protecting the camera. It's unlikely you'd ever drop the gimbal, but if you did, the camera itself is protected. Now, this has given me a whole new hobby. Okay, I enjoy walking. We enjoy visiting in the UK places like Stonehenge and Avebury and Salisbury, and while I'm going walkabout, I can shoot videos, and that puts an extra dimension to what we're doing. But the thing is that when I do shoot those videos, when I do go live, well, when I shoot the video, I actually go live, and I use a piece of software called Astra Streaming Studio, and hopefully it's in my list here, because it would be handy if I could tell you what it is. Just a second. Okay, and we'll get there. I thought, no, I haven't got it. Oh dear. It's called Astra, A-S-T-R-A, Streaming Studio on Android. And basically, it allows you to broadcast live, and I can broadcast live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter and Twitch from this gimbal. Okay, and going live adds an extra dimension. So you've seen the quality of the video that you can actually shoot using a gimbal. All my videos are on YouTube. Stonehenge videos get regular views because I've gone the extra step, and actually when I shoot my videos, I shoot them with a gimbal. I shoot them with this gimbal, which is the HOM Steady gimbal, iSteady. I've also got a Zion, but this is my favorite. It's very lightweight. You can point it, you can have it that way, you can have it that way, and the camera is protected. There is a front panel with controls on it. At its simplest, you put the phone in there with the lens at the top, of course. It's then locked in there, and then you switch the unit on. And when you switch the unit on, do make sure that it's actually on a stable surface. I'm going to switch it on now without the camera. and I need to press the button for 3 seconds, and there you have it. The gimbal will start to go into position. I need to recharge it. It's saying to me now, please recharge me. So I will recharge it. But you've seen the gimbal, okay? You've seen the video that you can shoot with the gimbal, and I think the video speaks very well for the gimbal itself. I'm just about to put it back in its case, try to keep things nice and tidy. So it's going back in its case. That's where it lives. Okay, and I'm going to put that over there and come back to me. Right, okay, now you are watching. Again, if I go side by side in a second, say good afternoon to Mr. Nick Wood, who's joined us, my fellow broadcaster on Mondays, and also on Wednesdays as well. But we're both on Amazon Live. Hello, Nick, and thank you for joining. Right, so the gimbal is an important part of my regime of keeping fit, and we'll come back to that later in the broadcast. Let's go side by side for a moment. We're going to, I know it's nothing to do with the show, nothing at all to do with the show, but what we're going to do, I've now got a bit of greenery there, and we're going to be monitoring the growth of that plant in 2022, and hopefully at some point this year it should actually bloom. Okay, that's what I'm hoping for. Now if I carry on in the gimbal, I want to go with one bit. This is my purchase of the year. Okay, and it is basically a very simple unit, and it's a unit that's there, it's down in the carousel, and it's the Anker 4-port USB. It's made by, just a minute, give me a second. It's made by Anker. Okay, so when I say Anker, that's what I mean. It's a 4-port USB. Now the problem that as we know, is that if you've got a computer or a Mac, you never have enough USB ports. Now the peculiar situation I had was that I wanted to have more than one camera attached to my PC. Okay, I've got a Microsoft Surface Book 2, which is down in the carousel. Brilliant computer. Let's see, 16 gig of RAM, terabyte hard drive. It's just absolutely brilliant, and it's driving this broadcast today. But this little box, which the 4-way USB hub comes in, is just absolutely a game changer, because I've been plugged into here now. I've got 2 cameras, 1 microphone, and 1 Toshiba 2 terabyte hard drive, which you'll see down in the carousel. But this has been a game changer for 1690. This is old technology. Okay, Anker have been making this unit for years. I just discovered it by accident, and it means that I can have 2 cameras and a microphone, or 2 microphones and a camera, depending on what you want to do, and a hard drive. You can have 4 different things plugged in into your PC, so you're swapping 1 USB socket for 4. Okay, is that 4? Yes, it is. Just the angle of the camera was the problem. And that means that I can have 2 cameras on at the same time in my BeLive studio. And BeLive is one of the very few systems that allows us to have 2 cameras on screen at the same time. And if I go there, I'm going to go here and give you the wide angle shot. Okay, the wide angle shot is there. So there it is. That's down in the carousel at the moment. It's the Anker 4-port USB. I've sold quite a few of those because at the price, it's giving your PC the ability to have more than 1 camera or more than 1 microphone. And I couldn't do this presentation today if I wasn't able to have more than 1 camera. And as I say, USB A slots on your PC or Mac are at a premium. Okay, the extension unit there gets rid of the problem and makes all things possible. Okay, back to me. Okay, thank you for watching me live on Amazon Live. I do appreciate your time. if I did say hello, but I'll say hello again, Nick. Thanks to Teach6 for following me. If you're enjoying this live broadcast, then press the follow button. Well, three things. One, press unmute so you can hear what I'm saying. Two, what's the second one? Oh, the second one. Follow me. Okay, if you follow me like Teach6 did, you just may get notified of my next broadcast. The other thing is that you'll be able to find me on Amazon Live very easily by going to the following tab, and you can see my last show. If you follow me, I don't get your details. Amazon keep your details, but when I go live, you may get notified. Okay, I say may. Hope you do, but it's only a may. And then, but whenever you want, you can come in and watch my live broadcast by going to the following tab on amazon.com/live, and I'll be in the shows down there. Now, I'm live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern, talking about everything to do with going live on Zoom, or going live on your website, or going live as I am today on Amazon Live, or Facebook, or YouTube, or Twitter, or Twitch. If you've got any questions about going live, then please do ask me. I've been doing this for the last 6 years, enjoy doing so, and I'm happy to share my knowledge. I've got courses on Udemy all about live broadcasting, and I've got a training group which is sponsored by BeLive, which is called Live Video Sales, and that's on Facebook. So you can find out more if I press this button here. Okay, let's go here. That did it. I've basically, I've gone fuzzy. Just a minute while I remove the fuzziness. Okay, and it should be back to me in a second, but whilst we're waiting for that to happen, I want to say to everybody, have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Okay, and I'm in my BeLive studio, and that means I can use one of three or all three Valentine's updates. Okay, but the one I want to use, I'll take that off, try and sort out my camera again. Okay, and it is the Brio that I'm using. We're getting closer. Okay, so let's take that off. Okay, and that's none, and apply. And then I just want to go here, and just a reminder, I'm broadcasting on BeLive. Unmute to listen to me. This is Lights, Camera, Action, and I'm live from England. Okay, and it's Stephen Healey. And if you need anything at all in relation to live broadcasting, please do get in touch. Okay, so am I still fuzzy? That's the question. Let's take that overlay off. Okay, because I'm not that used to working with overlays. I prefer it to be plain. This camera's fuzzy. Whilst I sort out this camera, what I'm going to do is this, because I've got two cameras. Okay, and my second camera is over here. I can do this. Okay, I can now talk about my new camera. And I say new, I've only had this camera just over a week. Okay, and you are now looking at the Obspot Tiny camera. Now, the Obspot Tiny camera is a PTZ camera. Okay, PTZ, pan, tilt, zoom. Okay, pan, tilt, and zoom. And I just want to go back to where I was a moment ago. So let me just rejig this. Okay, so I'm back. There is a story behind the chess set. That is from Cyprus. Brought it back on a flight all the way. It weighs a ton. If you want to challenge me to a game of chess, then please do. The odds are that you will actually win. So if you want a friendly game, because we English, it's the taking part, not the winning that counts. You know that, don't you? Right, so this is the Obspot Tiny camera, which is down the carousel, $199. Now, the Obspot Tiny, in terms of the resolution, is 1080p or 720p. I'm broadcasting to you today at 720p. That's the resolution that's set by Amazon. So you're seeing the camera, you're seeing me, but you're not seeing the best picture that this camera can do, because this camera is running lower than its natural resolution, which would be 1080p. So don't judge the resolution. But there are some things about this camera that ordinary cameras don't have. We looked at the C920 earlier. Now, C920 is the camera that most people have, and Mark, who's watching on Facebook, said he's got that camera and he loves Logitech. So much is good, but we're now talking about the Osbot Tiny. The Osbot Tiny is in its own league, really, because it's not restricted to being on your desktop. Okay, with the Osbot, you can switch from one view. I'm glad when it works. You can switch from one view to another view. This is a live demonstration. Behave yourself. I can switch to the desktop there, and this is live. I'm moving my iPad now. Thank you for watching me on Amazon Live. I do appreciate it. I can switch to my desktop. I can switch back to me. Okay, and I can switch back to my wall. Okay, and on the wall is a picture of Avebury Stone Circle, which was built 4,500 years ago, same time as Stonehenge, and I just love actually walking there and back to me. Okay, but the Osbot, in addition to having the ability to actually go to 3 different preset locations, also has this ability, and I think this, on a $200 camera, $199, this is totally amazing. And for the moment, I'm actually showing this in every broadcast that I do. Just a second. I'm actually showing this in every broadcast that I do. The thing about the Osbot is it's got built-in artificial intelligence, and this is dedicated to tracking. So as I move around the room, the Osbot will track me, and I can move as close to the screen as I want and look at the camera, of course, but it's actually following my actions, which means that this is, we'll get here in a minute, this is absolutely brilliant, because when you stood up and you're presenting, you've got more energy. Fact of life. That's why when you go to a seminar, a real world seminar, people stand up, yeah, because you've got more energy. You can present more forcefully when you're stood up, and you can talk about things. So whilst I'm stood up, I'm going to show you something that's down in the carousel, which is here. Okay, and because I'm stood up, I got the ability to actually show you more of it than I normally would. This is the Ipvo stand. It's down in the carousel. This is my stand of choice when I want to have a mobile phone in the clamp there, and I want to use that as a camera. It's got 3 joints. Top joint, you can bend round so the camera is looking straight ahead. You can put it up so the camera is looking straight down. So that's brilliant if you've got an area you actually want to show. And then you've got another joint which actually changes the angle, and you notice I'm having to push hard to actually do this, and then it's jointed at the bottom as well. So there are 3 joints in this. It is doing this is akin to weightlifting, because this thing weighs about 3 kilos. This is solid. With, I've got it here, I couldn't do this sat down. With a tripod stand, you've got the 3 legs which you splay out, okay, and that's, I'll put that behind me. That's your typical tripod stand. Now they come in various heights. This one I think is in the carousel, but they can wobble. And if you're setting up to do a cooking demonstration with a second camera, it's much better to have that camera in this than that, because he said, if you knock this, you're likely to fall over. It will not fall over. It is so sturdy. It's got a weighty base. The joints, you really have to want to move them. Okay, they are, oh, it's so well crafted. It's a beautiful design. It's by Ipvo. Ipvo, in addition to doing stands like this, do document cameras. So you've got a range of Ipvo document cameras. If you click the link, the Ipvo link in the carousel, it will take you off to the Ipvo page, and you'll see all the Ipvo stands that are there. This is my favorite one, recommended by Krista Boven. I use this when I'm filming on mobile indoors, and it's just, well, I love it for the design. I love it for the fact it weighs a ton. I love it for the fact it's actually stable. Okay, and if you accidentally knock it, it's just going to say, okay, it's not going to move, in other words. So that's the Ipvo stand. And this is the thing about this camera, okay, which is the Obspot Tiny camera. Now, Obspot Tiny camera began life in 2021. It was crowdfunded on Indiegogo. It was oversubscribed, and the camera was produced. It is 1080p or 720p. It has 3 preset positions which you can go from and to, and I use that during my demonstrations when I'm sat down. And then the other thing it has, that was just established, is that it can track and follow you, and you can go around the room and you don't need to do anything. And I can present, I can talk about a green screen behind me. If I go over here, I can tell you that the sun's shining today in England. This is a Logitech green screen, and this is what I can show you. The green screen's down in the carousel, yeah? Scroll the carousel, you find it. But with this, basically what I can do, this is first time I've done this live, so be warned. If I go like this, the Logitech green screen is scrunchable, and that's what I mean by scrunchable. That this is obviously up against the back wall. It is, I don't know whether I can do this or not. It is green on this side. Okay, it's green on this side, blue on the other side, reversible. And as you've just seen, if I spread myself out, do it this way, it is scrunchable, liftable, portable. It comes with its own case, and once you've learned how, I saw a lady did a video of how to pack this, and there is an art to it. Once you know how to do it, then it's simple and straightforward, but it can be difficult. But you can scrunch it up together, and you can then take it anywhere you want. Now, it works obviously as a green screen as far as I'm concerned, doing live video on the internet, on Zoom. It works fine, okay? But it also works as a photographic green screen. So if you want to take photographs, you can use this as a green screen. It's got 2 uses, one for broadcasting and one for photography, which means that it's a very valuable piece of kit, and it is down the carousel. I'll bring it up in a minute. So we've looked at, whilst I was stood up, we've looked at the Ipvo stand, which is down the carousel, which I'll highlight when I sit down. We've looked at the 3-legged tripod, which is a good piece of kit. Don't get me wrong. If it's in my carousel, then it's a good piece of kit. But it's not as sturdy as the Ipvo. Okay, now what's going to happen now is I am going to disappear. I'll show you why I'm going to disappear. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to move my chair. Okay, and the software is tracking me perfectly. Okay, until I sit down, and it's lost me, and it doesn't know where I am, which is why we have preset locations. Okay, so that's the Obspot Tiny camera, and it is, well, to my mind, it's a miracle of engineering. It's the camera. I've never had so much fun with a camera. And the other thing that the Obspot is doing, you'll notice if I go over here, just let me move something. I'm going to try and move something, go here. Yeah. That whatever I do, the Obspot is making sure that I have headroom. Yeah. So I'm going to go over to its preset location down there. I'm going to go back to me. And it's so seamless and so straightforward. Okay. Hopefully when I broadcast tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, the sun will not be so strong. But it does have a bit of decoration, I suppose. Now, how's my first camera getting on? Because all this started when I'm back. Let's see both of me. Okay. Okay. Now, as you can see, both the OBSBot and the Logitech Brio camera are on top of my BenQ monitor. I did say that I would show you a couple of things. I know it's disconcerting having two of me. You've got two cameras and one microphone. Just down in the carousel, just a moment, I'm highlighting. See, I can't show it properly when I'm sat down. I'm highlighting the Ipvo uplift stand. It's down in the carousel now. And also, I don't think I've actually got the tripod stand in the carousel. The Anker USB port is down in the carousel now. And yeah, and so is the 3-axis gimbal. So I've been through the three of those during this broadcast. The next thing I want to be sure of is, and I think we've the other spot down in the carousel and Logitech Brio. Okay, what I want to do now is I want to show you a short video, if I can find it. Let's go over here. Okay, and over here, and okay, and we're going to go with this one. Okay, so I'm going to show you another video which was shot with the home gimbal, and that's the gimbal that's down the carousel. Then we're going to talk about cameras and microphones in a moment. But before, while I get ready for that, I'm just going to talk about the gimbal again, and I'm going to show you a short video. Down, let's hide me. Turn my camera off. Okay, in Portsmouth, we have the Royal Naval Dockyard. Now, Royal Naval Dockyard was where the Royal Navy was based until 1992, when they moved up to Scotland. Left behind were the docks. And this short video is shot with the home gimbal. Okay, so I used the home gimbal iSteady to actually shoot this video. And I'm going to, just a minute, shrink that. Okay, and I'm going to put the video full screen. Okay, we're going on a tour of the dockyard, and I may skip some of the video, but don't worry. I'm going to switch my microphone off.
Is an ironclad ship built in Great Britain, and it's steam powered, not sail powered. And we're just going to walk alongside to give you an idea of the size of this. Over there is a tower, 385 feet, I think. You can actually go up in a lift to the top, but we're concentrating on the shipping today as we're at the dockyards. Welcome to HMS Warrior, Her Majesty's ship Warrior, or His Majesty's ship as it was when it was commissioned. And this is just an amazing place. As I pan round, we're actually, the estuary is over there, and we have all the buildings on the right. As usual, I'm broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and my website, live from Portsmouth in England, as Angelica and I do our tour of Hampshire. Okay, so I'm trying to avoid people. And hello.
Are you going on board?
No, we're not.
No,
Okay. I think you're not allowed to photograph on board, hence his question, which is a fair one. Today we're just taking a walk around the dockyards, as opposed to touring the facilities. It's wonderful because you can actually get onto the dockyards for free, which is what we've done today, and you can walk around and you can film and nobody's going to stop you. So I'm going to go as far as here and then turn around and watch Angelica coming towards us, and we'll turn.
Right, I'm going to stop the video for a second because I want to do is just to take that heading off screen. Just bear with me a moment. It'll be worth the wait. Okay, you can see my other videos there. But what I'm going to do is I am going to, hopefully this will work, is I'm going to fast forward the video to there. Okay, and I'm going to switch my microphone off and just play again. This is Hms Victory, which took part in the Battle of Trafalgar against the French and the Spanish. Both the French and Spanish fleets were defeated, and this ship is currently in Portsmouth Royal Naval Dockyard being restored.
Turn around and head back. British flag proudly flying as we walk to the stern. Okay. As I say, this is the first time that we've seen this. So, Mary Rose Museum, HMS Victory, and refreshments. Okay, so let's find out a little bit more about what we're looking at. And it says here the conservation continues. In 2012, the National Museum of the Royal Navy and HMS Victory, so this is HMS Victory, which was Nelson's ship, embarked upon a £40 million 25-year programme of conservation to ensure the Victory is preserved for future generations. As a part of this process, visitors have a unique opportunity to see beneath Victory's skin. Shipwrights will use traditional now we saw the school a moment ago, will use traditional skulls to replace the planking to keep rainwater out and keep the historic structure dry and free from rot. So that's it. That is, can you imagine sailing on that ship? Can you imagine going up to the crow's nest up there, having to climb that, as Angelica said earlier, in stormy seas? And you can see the cannon all lined up to fire against enemy ships, a broadside in battle. And the Nelson fought a famous victory, defeating the Spanish and the French, with Nelson in command. Let's move on, see what else we can find.
Right, let's move on. And the thing that we did find after we'd actually looked at HMS Victory, and it's just a magnificent ship in the Portsmouth Royal Naval Dockyards, is that also there we saw HMS Warrior at the beginning, which is the first metal-clad ship with the first ever washing machine. And in addition to that, we saw HMS Victory. Around the corner from HMS Victory is the Mary Rose, and the Mary Rose, of course, was Henry VIII's ship, and it sank to the bottom of the sea and was then brought up, taken to Portsmouth, and it's being restored at the moment. And they've had a torturous journey to actually repair it and get it back to something like its former glory. Okay, so that's an interesting visit. And the thing is that we can watch that video, and if you want to watch the full video, which is 25 minutes, it's on YouTube, and if you type in my name, Stephen Healey, then you'll be able to watch the full video and all the other videos that I've done. But they've all been done with the Heiley gimbal, which is down in the carousel. Okay, thank you for watching me live on Amazon Live. I do appreciate it. And now that the sun's going down, I don't have any strange patterns behind me. All good. Okay, and then the thing that we did look at a few moments ago was the green screen behind me, which is the Fovitech green screen, which is down the carousel. It is reversible. It's blue one side, green this side. It is scrunchable. I scrunched it for you. It is transportable. You can carry it anywhere. And if you join me tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. in the UK, I will be talking about how to use green screen software, otherwise known as background removal software, otherwise known as how do you do that. So you can join me tomorrow at 10 a.m. and I'll be using, we talked about XSplit VCam earlier, I'll be talking about XSplit VCam and showing you exactly how to use it. Okay, so we've talked about the Obspot Tiny, which was the camera that I currently have. Hang on, hide. Wait a minute, I want to hide that. Try again. Okay, we talked about the camera on my right, which that didn't work, did it? We talked about the camera on my right, which is the Obspot, and you can now compare. On the left, you have Logitech Brio. On the right, you have the Obspot Tiny. Both prices for both actually fluctuate, but today the Obspot is $199 and the Logitech Brio is 19% off at $161.54. So if we take a closer look at the Brio, and to do this, I need to press a button, and I'm going to press this one. Okay, this is Logitech Brio, and you've been watching it throughout this broadcast. It is from Logitech. It is a very reliable camera. I got this camera to replace my C920X. So this is a step up from the C920X. Logitech Brio camera is 1080 and 720, like the 920X. But in addition to that, it's 4K. Now, the unfortunate thing at the moment is that we can't broadcast in 4K. Yeah. We can't do it because the internet infrastructure is not there. It will happen that we can actually broadcast in 4K. Why does this matter? Because you get a better resolution, you get a clearer picture, and when I play videos, you'll be able to see them as I shot them, as I know their look, because I shoot at 1080. 4K, I'm starting to, yeah. So 4K, that's the resolution. I'm broadcasting at 720 today. The camera itself, if I bring a little bit of software on board, I can show you what we can actually do. I'm just going to close down that bit of software. Okay, and I'm going to hide that over there. So excuse me a moment. You can't see what I'm doing, but I assure you that it will be worth waiting for as I just start this piece of software. Okay, so when you go and you buy a Logitech camera, there is software that you can buy. Sorry, there is software which is included, which you can use. And I'm going to do a screen share now. Go here and go here and go here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to screen share. And in a moment, I will be on the left-hand side. And that software will be on the right-hand side. Okay. Next to me is the software that you can get for free. Just go to logitech.com and you can download the software. And if I go like this, you can see a bit more of the software. Okay. So this software on the right-hand side is controlling the camera. So what I can do, and it's important you do this, what you want to do is get to a stage where you're comfortable on camera, where you're happy with how you look, which means you've got to experiment. How close to the camera do you want to be? Do you want to be a giant? Or do you want to be normal size? Or do you want to be shrunk? It's up to you. Okay, so you can be three different, well, you can be as many different sizes as you want. I'll come back to my normal one, which is there. So that's the first thing we can adjust. We can adjust the zoom. Okay. Second thing we can adjust, and I need to go side by side for this. I need to go side by side like this. So just give me a second. I just need to change something and the screen will change. And in a second, you've got me. Okay. Now I'm going to change the angle. Okay. This is 65 degrees. This is 78 degrees. And what you're seeing more of my studio, Okay, and if I go to 90 degrees, you can see even more of the studio. Yeah, I'll go full screen for a moment. What I tend to do is I go for 65. Yeah, which puts me at the center of the green screen. And if you're watching me, if you'd not seen what you've just seen, then you'd be watching me on camera and you wouldn't know about the rest of the background. Also, I want the green screen to be center of the screen because I'm going to use it tomorrow as a green screen with a background removal tool. So 65 degrees, but you can go to 78 degrees and you can go to 90 degrees. So you can change the field of vision. Okay, and the Logitech Brio goes to 90 degrees. Now, as far as color is concerned, Logitech Brio has been said to be oversaturated. Now, there's nothing we can do about that, but I'm used to looking like this on camera, so I'm happy with it. The other thing, I made sure that I've got headroom at the top as well, because you don't want to be like that, you know, cut off the top of your head. You actually want to be so that people can actually see you. The other thing I can do, I'm going to advanced settings now, and I'll go back to side by side. Okay, and I'll go side by side. The other thing you can do is that you can change the brightness. Now I'm going to take, well, let's just see what happens, shall we? This is live, anything can happen. Let's go over here. If I take the brightness too far, I get that. If I come back to 50, which is the default, okay, that's the happy medium. Or I could go right the way down, and I'm getting darker and darker until you cannot see me at all. So let's go back to 50, and the default settings are all 50, which I think is just easy, simple, and straightforward. I can alter the contrast, yeah, and I can take it both ways. But again, that's not me, that's somebody else. I'm going to take it back to 50. Okay, so that's basically the way you want it to be. Okay, default setting, unless you want to change the use slightly. Color intensity, I can increase the colors. I can go bright red, or I can take the color out, and if I wanted, I could have a sort of monochrome me. It's not me though. So let's go back and let's go to the software again. Hopefully I'll find the software, because I'll be locked like this forever. Just let me put the color intensity back, and you guessed it, I need to put the color intensity back to 50. Okay, and that's pretty close to 50. Autofocus. Now, got to be honest, we don't actually need it, so I'm going to switch it off. Okay, that's off. You don't need autofocus. It drives cameras crazy. It uses more of your resources, and for the amount that we actually move about, we're on Zoom or on a live video, we don't need it. So I switched that off. The unfortunate thing is that the software keeps switching it back on, but be that as it may. So that's how much control we have over not just, this is not just the Logitech Brio. This is over every Logitech camera, 920, 922, 925, 930, all controlled by one piece of software which you can download from logitech.com. And basically what you're trying to do, and it's going to take me ages to get this back where I want it, I'm going to restore defaults. Okay, I'm going to restore defaults, and I'm going to zoom in a bit. So let me zoom in a bit. I'm going to tilt. I knew I shouldn't have done this. I'm going to tilt. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to tilt again. I'm going to zoom out. This is live, isn't it? Right, that's pretty much back to the way I want to be. So the thing is, you can always restore to default and very quickly get back to how you want to look on camera, and that is the Logitech Brio camera. Okay, and Okay, and I've got my first. I'm going to take the fifth on that one, and go here and go side by side and take the opportunity to show this. Just going here. Okay, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to apply that. Okay, I'm broadcasting on Be Live. Unmute to listen. This is show you're watching is Lights, Camera, Action, 5 days a week, 9 a.m. Eastern, and I'm live from England. Now, I'm live from England. I don't know my Rams from my Bengals. Yeah, so I can't answer your question. In all honesty, I can't answer your question. Whilst I'm here, however, there are, just want to shout out, there are, just go here and go here. Okay. There are some Valentine's shows on Amazon Live. If you go to Discover, you'll find all the shows with Valentine's Day gifts ideas. And I'm a bloke. I'll take all the help I can get. Okay, so I will be checking out the Valentine's videos on Amazon and taking advice. The second one, obviously staying with the Valentine's theme, and the final one. So there's 3 Valentines. I wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day wherever you are in the world. And I want to say thank you to Be Live for actually creating those Valentine's overlays. Okay. It's a tradition. We always have Valentine's overlays. So I can't answer the question. Okay, so camera-wise, just going down to the carousel, we've looked at the Ultraspot Tiny. We've looked at Logitech Brio. Logitech Brio is 19% off today. It's $161.54. It is normally $199.99. Logitech C920. C920X means it includes XSplit. If you go to the front of this video, if you go and rewind on this video, I explain what you included. You get 3 months membership of XSplit, which gives you XSplit Broadcaster, XSplit Capture, XSplit, well, Presenter. 3 months, and it's well worth it because it's brilliant software. Which brings us over to microphones. Okay, and I'm going to switch up, and I'm going to switch cameras. Let's have 2 cameras on screen. Okay, so I'm going to hide that. I've told you all about the software that you can get from Logitech.com. That's going to go. I'm here. I'm going to switch this camera on. Okay, and I'm going to point this camera down at the deck. Okay, so there we have it. We're down at the deck. Okay, highlighted in carousel at the moment. I just need to check something. Just give me a second. I need to go to software and to. Okay, I use software called crisp.ai. Okay, I'm doing this the other way around. I've decided. Okay, I'm doing this the other way around. Throughout this broadcast, you have been listening to the Audio Technica AT2020 microphone, which is now down in the carousel. And I'm now going to show you on screen. Okay, so let's move the Ipvo stand, which weighs a ton. Let's move my mobile phone and put the C920 up there and bring in this microphone. It's very shy. Yeah, so here is the Logitech AT2020 microphone, which is down in the carousel, and you've actually been listening to it throughout this broadcast. Yeah, it is a high quality microphone. I have the microphone about 3 feet away from me, pointed towards me. I adjust the gain. You can plug a headset in, and I basically, like most microphones, this microphone was recommended to me by Mike Phillips, and I heard him broadcasting in Amazon, and I thought, well, that's an amazing microphone. That I bought it from Amazon. I've had it for about 18 months. I love the quality and the timbre of the sound. Now you have you have a great opportunity. As we're on Amazon Live, and there are hundreds of broadcasters on Amazon Live, you can go and watch their shows and you can listen to the microphones. When you find a microphone which sounds good, and it's up to you. You decide which microphone sounds good. I can't, your decision. Listen to the shows and listen to the sound in the shows. We know how important sound is, and everybody has got a decent microphone. And if you're watching a show and you like the sound, then ask the host of the show, which microphone are you using? And they will tell you. I've just told you before you asked that this is the Audio-Technica AT2020, which is down in the carousel. And I love it. Mike recommended it. I heard it and I had to buy it from Amazon. That's the story. And I've had it for 18 months until I was doing a live broadcast early December with some friends. And the live broadcast was with, I'm going to show this on screen, Krista Boban in Belgium, Rico in the States, Alec Dorling in Sweden, and Rose Davidson in Australia. And I said, right, okay, come on my show and talk about your microphone. And everybody came on the show and talked about the microphone. The microphone that blew me away was my next microphone down the carousel, which is the Elgato Wave 3. Okay, and what we're going to do when I come back in focus, I switched, you saw me switch autofocus off and it's not playing. Okay, I will be back in focus in a second. Right, okay. I'm going to go, I use noise cancellation software and I use Crisp. And my microphone goes through Crisp. You're listening to the AT2020. Hopefully. Testing 1, 2. You are now listening to my other microphone, which is the one I bought because of Alex showing me the microphone, and I heard it and I thought that sounds brilliant. My second and new favorite microphone is this one. Okay, that's the Audio-Technica. I'm going to move that out of the way and I'm going to move this over here. Apologies for any changes in sound, just for a second, just bear with me a second. Microphone's over here, and this is this is the Elgato Wave 3, and I'm going to go here and just show you the Elgato Wave 3. It should be coming into view now. It's on the long lead. This is the Elgato Wave 3 microphone, and if I turn it round, I'll go to the camera because I don't want to have too many fluctuations on sound. This is the Elgato Wave 3 microphone. It's my new favorite microphone. It has a pause button on top, which mute button on top, which is absolutely brilliant. It's not a button, you just go boom, and it mutes itself. It's got controls on the front for adjusting the volume, okay, and I'm assured it does go up to 11, and you can plug in a headset and it just works. But the thing about this microphone is this. Just let me start up some software. I need to go over here and I need to go here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and screen share. Okay, let's go over here to the window and just a minute, let me make sure I get the right software. That's the, I'm waiting for, just a moment. I want the wave link. Okay, got it, I've captured it. Okay, I'm going to hide that camera. Okay, and I'm going to bring, this is the software that comes with the Wave 3. And I'm just going to shrink myself. Okay, so let's shrink me. Okay. Now you can see that as I'm talking, the Wave microphone channel is responding. This is This is an audio mixer supplied with the Elgato Wave 3. It means that you can have several different inputs into the microphone system. The Elgato 3 microphone, Wave 3 microphone. Start again. It means you can have several inputs into the microphone. You've got the microphone, which is what we're listening to now. In addition to that, I can bring in sound from my browser. I can bring in Spotify. I can bring in system sounds, and I can even bring in a second microphone, such as the Crisp. Okay, and I can bring the whole mixer into my studio so I can play any type of sound I want simply from the one control panel. I think I will demonstrate this tomorrow. Now, the unfortunate thing, as with all things, as I go side by side, is that I can't play music. I can't play copyrighted music. But I'll give it a fair go, and we'll try and get this mixer actually going tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. in the UK, and we'll talk mixers and sound. But it comes with the Elgato Wave 3. That's why the Elgato Wave 3 stands out. Apart from the beautiful tone and the richness of sound that comes out of this microphone as I get closer to it. Okay, and I've only had it a couple of weeks. I'm still experimenting, and I'm going this weekend. Back to me. This weekend, I'm going to do some test recordings with the Elgato Wave 3 microphone to actually optimize it. Today, I'm just using it just out the box, and it works. Yeah, I'm actually going to optimize the microphone, and I'll come back and I'll tell you how you can optimize your Elgato Wave 3. And I want to say thank you to Brianna. Okay, thank you to Brianna for actually following me. I do appreciate it. And to Teach, who followed me earlier. Right, okay. This has been a joy. I always enjoy broadcasting live on Amazon. I value that you take time to be with me, and it's been a blast. Hopefully I've been helpful. Live, 9 a.m. Eastern, every weekday, talking about live video, about Zoom, anything connected with live video. Find it on this broadcast. Thank you for taking the time. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you again soon.